out like water, like the mountain gave a daughter. Surrender never felt so good. I grew it strong like a sacred wood, and now the roots are running deeper. All illusion getting weaker. You see the wisdom, it don't come from reading, it comes from believing. What I know is that I don't know, and now I dance and I sing and I live full. I give it all to the call of the unknown. What I said is that I don't say, and now I rest, no stress in the holy name. All fears and my tears, give it all away. I play like a child of the earth.
Hello. Hi. We grew up together, went to middle school, high school, and for college we ended up splitting up. She went to University of Arizona and I went to the University of Oklahoma.
We've been best friends though since we were 5.
I could go all day, make a whole video about it, but we're gonna keep it short. During our time in college, we started to
feel pulled in a different direction in life, away from the drinking and the partying that we were doing, both of us pretty intensely. Around the same time at different schools, we started to get the feeling that we were searching for something more. We both went vegan around the same time, which is a different story. But as soon as we went vegan, we started to notice that we were being called elsewhere in life, and we just took little steps in the direction of that call that we were being pulled towards. We didn't know what was gonna happen in our life. We just knew we wanted something more fulfilling.
The opportunity presented itself and we just kind of took it. There was no thought after it. It was just like, yep, this is it.
It was pretty instantaneous that we knew in our gut like we were meant to go there for whatever reason.
We moved to Hawaii. We were seeking
peace
and
adventure.
At the time we didn't know that's what it was. We experienced
spiritual growth and awareness and progress towards releasing some thought patterns and becoming aware of our ego, and just like the basics when you're starting out a spiritual journey.
Long story short, our time in Hawaii led us to leaving school because of many reasons, and I can do another video on that as well. But while we were working there in Hawaii, we worked at this place called Banan. Incredible. It's like a vegan frozen yogurt food truck. Anyway, one of the owners told us about woofing.
And Workaway.
And Workaway, yeah. At the time we were looking for a way to travel because we wanted to see the world, and we didn't know how to do that on a low budget. So he was an angel to us and brought us the knowledge of Workaway.
Workaway is a website that has listings all over the planet where people solicit help. So they're like, oh, come help me on my farm. Oh, come help me with my baby. Oh, come help me wash the dishes. And there's thousands and thousands of opportunities depending on what you're interested in. So there's lots of travelers, like lots of like free-spirited, soul-searching people out there traveling through this website. And basically the way it works is you go to whatever location you pick. You get to pick, you get to check out the place, read the reviews and whatnot. Then you go and you work for them for an allotted amount of time per day, and in exchange you get housing and food. So yes, we were staying in some of the most beautiful resort, like hidden away places on the face of the planet for free, because we were staying there and then we'd work 4 to 5 hours a day doing super fun things like gardening and painting the house.
We did things like cherry picking, planted potatoes, we made garlands for deities at a Hare Krishna temple. What else did we do? We helped this man paint his house. He was turning his home into like a yoga retreat with his wife, and he was so sweet, and that was in the hills of Spain. We went to Italy. We stayed at this place where they held all different kinds of seminars, like meditation, yoga, what else, like Japanese drumming, just a whole bunch of different workshops. And we got to live in a house with, you know, 15 to 20 other people. All we had to do was work a few hours a day, and don't get me wrong, some of them were better than others, obviously, but they were all their own experience. They all taught us individual lessons about ourselves and about what we want in life. And
that was our intention when we left, is that we knew we were being called elsewhere. We knew we were leaving school, so we were going against the grain. And people were like, what are you guys doing? Like, what's your plan? And we were like, we don't have a plan. We really just feel this calling in our gut, and we're going to follow it. And it really didn't make any logical sense, but we trusted.
It made sense to us, and it's still...
Yeah. There was a plan, because we were going to learn. We were going to learn to garden. We were going to learn to travel. We were going to learn to volunteer.
Those were the things that we felt we wanted to know. Like, we wanted more knowledge about these things, because that's what we wanted to incorporate in our forever life. And at the time, going to school, you know, we didn't get any of what we were actually interested in, and just stress and money, lots of money. And for somebody who has to pay for things on their own, like, it's a lot.
So it's a
harder
risk.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do. In between workaways, we would go to different cities and stay in hostels or rent an Airbnb and just hang out for a few days, and then go to our next workaway or whatever it was. We also got like free days during our workaway trips, I guess. So we'd have, like, you know, the weekend off or whatever, and then we would go explore a different part.
Cities. We traveled using public transportation, so buses, trains, a lot of trains. And then, so when we went from big countries, so like we would have to fly
Italy
from Spain
to France,
to Italy,
or whatever.
So we found super cheap flights on Cheapo Air. That is like my go-to. It's really about your timing, it's about your persistence, making sure you're checking in and you're keeping the faith. You're actively manifesting a cheap flight. Like, that's what you're thinking about. So one time we paid $25 each for a flight from countries. One time it was like 37 euros, another time it was 100. So really cheap and really convenient. This whole time we weren't just traveling for shits and gigs. We held an intention the entire time. We knew that we were a part of something much bigger, just as every human being on this planet is, and we knew that we had things to learn, and we stayed open the entire time to whatever was coming our way. So when challenges arose, which they did many a times, nothing is perfect ever, but we knew in each moment when things got tough that we needed to stay present, we needed to stay aware, and we needed to work through every problem with faith and presence.
And again, just trusting that whenever you're at a low, you're learning. It's like you're out of your comfort zone, and that's when you're pushed to learn. We're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to experience. And if you stay in your comfort zone, there's no growth at all.
Because your same experiences will repeat themselves over and over until you learn from them.
So we did have many challenges.
It was showing us
what we want in life and what we don't want.
The whole time, when we didn't like something, like, I have come to know that I definitely need a home base. I need stability in some form. So as much as 5 months of traveling is really exciting, it's also extremely exhausting. And so for future travels, I know that it will always be like a little travel here, a little travel there.
My limit now is like no more than 3 months at a time, 2 to 3 months, because 5 is a lot. Especially when you are like, you have to find the next place you're going to, and like the whole time we never wanted to go to a place that didn't feel right. Like we enjoyed seeing the reviews, and we enjoyed seeing, like, talking to the host and seeing their rating. It was a process. Yeah, it's a process. We wanted to feel safe and secure, and so we always wanted to pick what felt right and what showed to be a place that people enjoyed and
that would help us grow, that was aligned with our personal ideals.
So we went to places like yoga retreats, and what else? We went to ashrams,
yeah,
and we
spiritual
went to temples,
places,
and we just wanted to be surrounded by high vibrations to bring our own vibration.
And we knew we wanted to learn about spirituality, learn about the soul, about the spirit, and what we're here to do on this earth. So we actively searched for places that would give us those answers, and in turn we received so much knowledge about ourselves and about this life, and we're extremely grateful.
People keep asking, like, what are you doing next? So how long are you home? And there's a general, you know,
goal. There's an end goal. You have an end goal, you have an image, you hold an image of your mind, how you would like to feel, maybe how you would like to look, you know, where you want to live. But in between point A and point B, you surrender, and you kind of just take it a step at a time.
And magic happens, like when you're open and you trust, like magical things happen. Like we've had some crazy synchronistic experiences, and we've experienced deja vu like literally every day, multiple times. Yeah, like 7 to 8 times a day. Sometimes when we were traveling, we were like, whoa, like and we could identify where and when we had this specific dream, or we felt like we had experienced it before. It could have been years ago, or it could have been last week or last month.
I think in the end we decided, after quite a bit of traveling with a backpack, a ginormous backpack, that we were ready to return home
and put what we learn into play, I guess, like start manifesting what we now know we want and what we want to do and how we want to help those who don't
want
feel
the
like
answers.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have learned, obviously not everything, but
we want to share what we have learned, because it is so important. It's vital information to life, to enjoy the time that you're
enjoy your existence, yeah, while you're here, because it is quite an interesting time to be alive amongst so much distraction, so much confusion, and there is a balance, and there's a way to find the balance so that you can live in full alignment with your highest and greatest good, and while serving humanity and helping to make the earth a better place.
Enjoying, just like enjoying your life and playing and
healing.
There's been so much that we've been conditioned that we have no idea is playing a role in our everyday struggles. Like we have no idea about these things, and by exploring yourself and by pushing yourself, and you come to these times where you're like, it's like aha moments. You're like, oh my, that makes so much sense. Like that's why I indulge so much in food. That's why I enjoy food so much.
That's why I react this way to this situation.
That's why, yeah.
And then you can start to release those thought patterns.
And you become aware of when it's happening, and then you can switch that thought or switch your
limiting beliefs.
Yes, and you just observe and surrender and flow through the emotion, and then
I think that there's so much that can be said, and a lot of what we're saying sounds, I know, very woo-woo and very like, what are you talking about? So if you have any questions on specific topics mentioned.
Yeah, also Madeline's channel has like a few of the videos of like from Hawaii and from our travels and stuff, so I'll put her channel down below. I feel like that was pretty broad. We didn't, you know, write down a script or anything. We kind of just like flowed and let whatever wanted to come out. So So
that
yeah,
could have made actually zero logical sense.
Yes.
But that's because some things just aren't logical. Actually, most things just aren't logical. You got a mind and you got a heart, and they speak different languages. So you get to choose which one you want to tune into. If you have any questions about specific topics mentioned, then just let Sue know, and
we can sit down and make another video. I haven't sat down and done the math to it all, but I'm thinking that during this trip, so we went our first month and did our yoga teacher training, so that was probably the most expensive part, but I'm not even going to count that because we could have completely left that out.
Yeah.
But
traveling itself.
So traveling itself, like actual traveling.
With buying, we were doing grocery runs,
buying
like
our own
we'd spend,
food and buy our own food, make our own meals.
in between places.
We spent $1,400.
$1,500 max.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to know anything more in depth about anything you've heard in this video. We hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening. Yeah. Thanks for liking it.